I'm Xiaoyan. Today, me and my teammates Anthony and Patrick will be introducing the web content management system, which is being widely used to build websites for companies or individuals. First of all, I would like to show you what a CMS looks like. The picture on the left of the screen shows creating a piece of content by using WordPress, which is the most popular content management system nowadays. Without a content management system, you'd need to write a static HTML file and upload it to your server. Sounds complicated, right? With a content management system like WordPress, you can just write your content in an interface that looks like Microsoft Word, which makes it a lot simpler. On the right is a WordPress page builder. A drag and drop page builder plugin lets you create customer layouts for your website the way you want. Basically, if you can imagine it, you can now create it, even if you are not a tech savvy. So what is CMS? A content management system is an application that is used to manage web content, allowing multiple contributors to create, edit, and publish. Content in CMS is typically stored in a database and displayed in a presentation layer based on a set of templates. The following are the basic features of a CMS. Content creation, which allows users to basically create it and format content. Content storage, which can store content in one place in a consistent fashion. Workflow management, which means the system assigns privileges and responsibilities based on roles such as authors, editors, and admins. And last one, publishing, which is responsible for organizing and pushing content live. Now let's take a look at how does it works. The beauty of a good content management system is to allow any user to create and manage their content without any technical know-how, since CMS are graphic user interface which lets you pull and display data. The user can focus on the content rather than having to write a code for each web page. At the same time, the system handles the vast majority of technical process in the background. Just like what the picture shows to us, in content management system, set content is drawn from databases, filtered through the system, then sent to the servers and ultimately users. This slide shows what's the different process between typical web maintenance system and content management system. Normally, in a web maintenance team, the webmaster created a bottleneck between the content contributors and the set visitors. And by using CMS, design management managers create templates with the CMS. Then content contributors write or place content in the page templates. Once approved, the page is published to the website where set visitors can access it. With different privilege of roles, the risk of misoperation can be greatly reduced. Last, I will introduce you some CMS examples, which are the most popular CMS in recent years. The most famous one is WordPress. It is for blogging and it is a great platform for beginners. It has 60% market share. The second one is Drupal. It is a social media on the internet. It can be utilized for communication, publication, and e-commerce. The third one is Joomla. It can create and manage content like many images, music, video, text, etc. It lies between the advanced Drupal and simple WordPress in terms of complexity. The last one is SharePoint. Web-based and cloud technologies make it easier to manage, share, and store digital information within a company. Now I will pass to Anthony to talk about some pros and cons for content management system.
All right, so I'm going to discuss some of the pros and cons of the web content management systems. So I'm just going to speak first in general that web content management systems are user-friendly and they save time and money. They can keep your content current and they control accessibility. More specifically, you can set up a different authorization so only certain people can update content. However, on the flip side of that spectrum is the list of cons that all web content management systems are not easy for everyone. I know I just said that it was user friendly, but some uh, some of these systems are a little bit more advanced. And another con is that the user can become complacent and over time neglect things like the next con, which is maintaining updates and the discipline to monitor the web content management system. And finally, the last general content management system con is there are increased security risks. So now I'm going to speak more specifically about the pros and cons of uh, more specific platforms. First, I'm going to discuss WordPress. So a pro of WordPress is that it's a free service. It's got plugin accessibility for website extensions, which can allow for scalability. You can make your website any size you'd like, depending on business needs. And WordPress also comes with prepackaged templates. A con of WordPress is that it is in fact open source, which increases a risk of hacking. Open source websites are typically a target for hackers. So the generic code in these prepackaged templates is oftentimes unnecessary and it's not customized, which can lead to a slow server. And the next one that we discussed in previous slides by Nancy is Drupal, which is one of the pros is that it's a Drupal mentor management system, which is an exclusive training platform for different content and updates. There's also a Drupal security team, which is constantly applying the updates and maintaining a secure network. And it's highly extensible. So similar to WordPress, there's various extensions making it scalable to any size that the company may need. However, with a highly extensible web content management system comes a con of complexity. So this highly complex system can lead to a slow running environment. It can lead to complex software updates, and unless you're experienced with this or neglect the management training that's provided, some of these complexities can really be a downfall. Lastly, I'm going to speak about SharePoint, which is a very popular web content management system. And one of the pros is that there's Microsoft Office integration. So SharePoint is part of Microsoft Office, so it allows different programs like Excel, PowerPoint, and Outlook all to be configured all within the same management system, allowing for a central storage location and detailed document management. This is very beneficial for different companies who utilize SharePoint because everything, as I just stated, is shared in a central location. However, On the flip side of this is a con that it is also similar to Drupal, very highly complex, especially out of the box. There's a lot of unnecessary extensions that can really overwhelm somebody who's not familiarized in SharePoint. And having said that, you can spend a lot of money on maintenance. So you're going to have to hire some professionals who have some SharePoint development experience, and that could become costly over time. So before any business invests in SharePoint, they're really going to want to consider the long-term costs. Finally, speaking of costs, there are monthly licensing fees. So you can pay monthly, you could pay by the person, you could pay by network size, and those are also some potential cons. Just to sum up, SharePoint is very accessible because it's a Microsoft Office integration system, but it can be expensive over time. Now I'm going to pass it off to Pat.
Thank you, Anthony. I am going to now go over and reiterate some of the important factors to consider when selecting a CMS. So the first thing to consider, as was mentioned previously, is how easy the CMS is to use. Many of the end users for a CMS will be not very tech savvy, and it is important to consider how easy the CMS is to use so that these less tech savvy individuals can not be frustrated and can focus on other aspects of a business. Another important factor to consider is the CMS within your budget. Depending on the CMS offered, they might have fees and other pricing structures, so it is always important to research the cost when selecting a CMS beforehand to make sure that it is within your budget. Additionally, it is important to consider if the CMS is SEO friendly, if search engine optimization is important to your company. It would be wise to consider choosing a CMS that properly integrates search engine optimization tasks. Additionally, any analytic metrics that you wish to measure, it is important to consider before selecting a CMS whether or not these metrics and analytics are captured by that content management system. Also, if uptime is critical to your website or your business, the amount of technical support offered is also a very important factor to consider. Many CMS options do not offer dedicated technical support, so again, if uptime is critical to your website, then technical support is crucial. Some more factors to consider when selecting a CMS. It is also important to consider the scalability, as was mentioned earlier. If you plan on expanding your business, it is a no-brainer to consider that you should choose a CMS that can grow as your site and company grows as needed. Additionally, in-house CMS solutions, while they may be appealing on paper, are often money pits and should be avoided most of the time. And additionally, it is important to research coding language compatibilities. If you have code that is pre-written that is not compatible with the CMS that you're choosing, this can create some bottlenecks. Additionally, if your company already is using a CRM or ERP platform, you should research to see if the CMS system you're considering is compatible. Thank you for listening to our presentation. We appreciate your time, and thanks.